Okay guys, this part of the video is basically kind of showing you how some of the features in the editor work. I'm going to expand this so we can see it a little better. First thing we're going to do is get a template loaded so I can show you some things. I'll pull up I guess it doesn't matter. I'll pull up something kind of complicated like a Mustang rally stripe or something. Basically, what we got going on here, I'll pick one. It's just something a little newer. Stallion here, not as new. I just pick something new. So here's the thing that's great about Eagle is all these templates you see are the same ones you would get if you purchased from us. The only difference is we don't have any in the Eagle cut. We don't have any through cut lines in it. We just have the cut lines because most of you guys have friction fed plotters and you're not looking to cut in through the liner and everything on this material. But one thing I want to point out on specifically on rally kits, if you're new to us, is because all these are cut to fit kits, we have several options, okay? And these options are to fit different variances in a car. One may have a no spoiler and XM antenna. This one is for a V8 with a lip spoiler and no antenna. And so you want to make sure you grab the right option for the car that you have in your shop or what it is the customer brings to you or is telling you they have. So I'm going to just pick one here. Because what I'm trying to do here is just kind of show you what you get when you open one of these guys and how you can edit some of these things. So all the rally kits will have a part list. Not all templates are going to have a part list, just the rally kits. Okay, and the reason we do that is because there's a lot of pieces and parts to them, and we feel that this helps you guys identify pieces and parts. This is a stagnant image on the template. It doesn't get cut. You don't get pay forwarding. It's just info that's stagnant on the template that helps you. Things like the spacing for the void in the center tells you what it is right here. When we put these templates in here, we were trying to be conscious about our customers' use of material, so we shove these things together. So if you wanted to pre-space this, okay, and get it exact, what you can do is it's indicated that it was a 1-inch void right there. So what you can do is if you wanted to pre-space it, so to get this thing pre-spaced, if you want to apply both sides at the same time, is click this box, type in 1 by 1. That's going to give you a 1-inch box. If you click out here in the open somewhere, it'll click this. Grab your arrow tool, make a selection of it, and then this move tool will actually just move it around. So you can use your cursor. If you have a wheel on your cursor, you can zoom in and zoom out. If not, you can hit the zoom out or zoom in, right? This little hand tool moves things around, so I can zoom in. Right, got this thing selected. I can move this thing and line it up right to one side. Let's line up to the bottom side. Right. Okay. Click this out here. The arrow tool. Zoom out. Now I'm going to select the top side of this thing. Make sure you get everything. These little guys here. And then I'm going to zoom back in. And then I'm going to click on this side and I'm going to hold my shift key down. This keeps it in a straight line as I'm moving it. And I'm just going to bump it up till it hits that 1-inch mark. And then I'm going to select this square again and delete it. Now, zoom out. Now I've got them all 1 inch out. Now you'll notice some of these on this side are some goofy shapes. You may want to put these bumper pieces on separately, but they are spaced out to 1 inch at the closest point. This one you may want to make sure that it's still 1 inch. And you put any rally stripes on, we always use 1-inch mask or a 2-inch mask, depending on the void. So that's how you pre-space. If you find, a lot of guys will find that they have so much material, or the plotter is a certain size and they can't plotter cut this whole thing in the gang up that we have it, and you want to regang it, that's fine. You select the pieces you want. You can move it still by selecting the line, or you can click this move tool and just click anywhere and move it, kind of a little bit easier to move. And go back to the arrow tool, and now I can take this piece, and if I want to put these pieces, try that again. Move these pieces here, over this way. Tool, these pieces here. Tool. Basically, what I'm showing here is you can stack these things however it works out best for you. And again, you can Control Z back any of these things to get back to where you were. If you want to plotter cut only certain parts, it plotter cuts everything you see on your screen. And the reason it does that is because it's plotter cutting by price. You start deleting things and your price drops. So if you don't want something cut, you have to delete it, okay? So if you just want that roof piece or something, select everything, delete it, and now you have your roof piece. It's only $6. See that here? If you say, well, I want all these pieces, but I have wire material and I want to cut more than one, if you hit Control C and Control V and duplicate that piece, it's going to double. So that's the only time we increase the cost on you, is if you're duplicating our templates. Okay? If you want to make, say, the hood a little longer, you're worried that it's not going to be long enough, and you want to make sure you have it a little bit longer, I can select that. I can move it out a little ways, give ourselves some room. Select the arrow tool, zoom in a little bit so we can see what we're doing here. Move it down. Okay. And now I'm going to select the open arrow tool, and I'm going to grab just the ends of these pieces and select that and hold my shift key down, and I can pull it straight out. Now I've just lengthened the hood. So another little thing you can do, so I've shown you the arrows tools, the hand, the move tool. Say your guy wants his name in the hood, knock it out of the hood. We have, right now at this point, we have just 3 fonts. We have called Bow, Charge, and Pony. I'm sure you can guess what Bow goes to in Charge and Pony. We have a Mustang, so we're going to pick Pony. And you want to make sure height is a decent size. We got it at 2. And then whatever you want it to say, you start typing in that field where it says text. We're going to type in just Mustang. And it's going to start typing it out on your screen. It's not cuttable at this point. What you want to do is then hit your arrow tool, and now it's just made that cuttable. You also notice it didn't increase your costing. So anything you add to the kit yourself, we're not going to charge you for. The only thing we want to charge you on is each time you cut our template or you duplicate our template. So we're going to select this, all of it. Zoom in here. Move this guy over so you can see it and say we want to slant it. So make sure it's selected slant. And I'm going to hold my shift key down. You'll notice I do that a lot. That's to keep it straight on the same plane. It's not moving all over the place. And when I click on my mouse and I move it left or right, you can see it slants. So we'll do that. Click our arrow tool key, click our move tool, move this thing around exactly where I want it. If you find out it's got to follow a angled edge or something and it's not straight, you can hit this rotate tool, and that'll allow you to freely rotate to match an angle. If you know it's a 90-degree thing, whether it's part of the kit, you want to turn it to fit your material or a name or whatever, you can hit this 90 degree and it just flips it 90 degrees. This is a flip vertically. You wouldn't want to do that necessarily with type, but if you make a change to, say, one side of a kit, that's a rally kit, and you don't want to do it twice, you can do one side and then select that and then copy paste it, and you want to mirror it. Now you can mirror it. Now it's the other side, right? You can flip it. Okay, so basically I've shown you that mirror tool that mirror one side works the other way as well. Just flip it horizontally. When you select something, it tells you what the selected image size, length and width is. If you want to know a specific area on the kit where it's at, you hit this little tool here, click it, hold the shift key down, and it will tell you as you pull it out exactly how far or how long that area is. Circle and square tool, you saw me use the square. Circle's the same way. Grid tool, we're still kind of working on that one. That's just kind of to lay out a certain size grid if you like having that in your editing features. But this is some basic editing, guys. I know there's a lot more that we could do if you're someone who's used to Illustrator like I am, or something like CorelDRAW, where it's got real powerful editing tools. This is not it. We're wanting to get to a certain point where we can get a little bit more editing, but I can't select an object right now and offset, say for a pin or something. So if you have a straight line, yeah, you could do that with a rectangle. You click a box here, and then you can zoom in and select the end of it, pull it out, and start creating a pin if it's a straight line. But if it's following a line that it has a curve to it, I can't offset yet. So to do some editing to this thing that you want to, say, change the edge of something or a line and make, say the end of this we just want to make straight, what you can do is you can select that object, hit break apart, and then select your open arrow tool, select that line that you want to redo, delete it, okay? And I'm going to zoom in here a little bit more. I'm going to hit my pen tool, and I'm going to have the snap line and endpoint snap selected. And this kind of little dot shows up when you get close to the point. You click that, and then when you get close to this one down here, if you're not right on it, it won't get it, but hit your button again, and it's going to create a straight line basically. If you don't want to do that, select it, hit break apart, delete that. Say you want to add a curve, but you want to add a different curve to it. You can do the same thing I did before. Click there, click on the other endpoint there, and hold your button down as you click, and then you can start dragging out. Now you got a arc happening. Okay, and you can bend it that way if that's the way you want it to go, or you can bend it back this way. So we're working on the tougher editing stuff. That's the beginning stages of it, but like I said, some of the things you can do, the basics of VivoCut and maneuvering things around, extending them, adding to it, adding a name, telling you the size. We got those in here. I've just shown you how to do that. If you have, last thing I want to talk about is if you have a logo or something that's already been created, a customer's given you a logo, or you have one already on your computer that you've done on your own, and in a vector program like Illustrator or CorelDRAW, if you can save that file as an SVG, you can actually import it into these templates here and cut them at no extra charge. So what I can do is show you that real quick, and then hit Illustrator down here. just going to create something. I'm not, make sure it's just an outline. There's our logo, okay? And as you know, in Illustrator, this is considered vector art. So the same thing goes with any program that works in vector art. If you can save as an SVG file, onto your desktop or wherever you want to save it, SVG, we're going to call it test SVG, onto the desktop. And this little window comes up in Illustrator, and we always recommend you make this, if you don't see this, just click more options. We always recommend changing this from 1 to 7. It just helps with the detail a little bit better. So when you're getting ready to save this as SVG and this window pops up, it may say, it may be on this window. If you see this and you want to click this more options, we suggest changing that 1 to 7 like this. It just helps with the detail a little bit better. That's an Illustrator. I don't know what it does in any other program, but we'll click OK, and it just saved this file. So we're going to go back to EagleCut, and I'm going to go to File, Import, SVG. I'm going to my desktop, I'm going to find that test SVG, and I'm going to open it. And there it is. So now I can take this thing and I can move it around. I separated the logo there with the pieces. I don't want to do that. Hold that. Now we'll move it. And you can put it wherever you want to. So it's a pretty cool feature if you've already got something built and you need it in there and we don't have it, or you want to put it in there, it's a customer logo or something. It works out pretty good. And it doesn't, we don't charge you for doing that. So you get all this stuff done and you don't want to have to do it again. You know you're going to plotter cut this thing again at some point. You don't have to do it again. You can go to Load and Save Drawings. You can title this thing, you know, Test. See, we got some other tests in here. The SVG logo, and we'll hit Save. Okay. So as you can see, this would be the same place you go to load a drawing. Okay. Go back to Edit. And we're back to where we were. So if we go File, New, it'll say Clear Permanently. Yeah, we've already saved it. So now we can go Load. Find that file that we just did. It's test with SVG. I'm going to hit Load Drawing. And there we are. So this Load Save Drawing is only on your account. Nobody else can have it stored on the cloud like all other templates. And again, we're only charging you for the template that we're providing, not anything that you add or adjust. That's pretty much it, guys. Holler if you have any questions. Please watch the video. All videos that we have, especially ones pertaining to your plotter for hookup. And be on the lookout for updates, because click this About and Updates, and click this Check for Updates button, and it'll tell you if there's an update, because we might have more editing features coming out. Each version, the last version here tells you, again, the version you have on your system currently, and it tells you what each update does. That's pretty much it.